All right, hello everybody. We let's see, about 2 weeks removed from coming back from Vegas, and we're gonna try to keep this video short. I say that with all the videos, they end up like 28 minutes, but we're gonna try to keep this one short. Just kind of run down what we did over there, review a few places, and just let you know how it went. So let's get right into it. First of all, trip overall.
I had a really good time. We went to Las Vegas for my 35th birthday. And we really did have a good time. Las Vegas treated me very well. So let's get right into it.
All right. So first thing, boom, we flew out on Wednesday the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
Frontier.
Frontier, I actually didn't really have too many complaints. Frontier was not my favorite. I didn't like the fact that it didn't recline, but that was my only complaint. Corey didn't like it.
Okay, so yeah, she's a lot nicer than I am. I don't like it at all. The only reason, there's two reasons we flew Frontier. First was, if you watch one of our other videos, I explained how we used the money from a commission we got from a cruise to kind of help pay for as much of this trip as possible. So part of the reason we flew Frontier going and we stayed at the Westgate was because we was trying to keep this trip as inexpensive as possible, so that commission covered a larger percentage of the other trip. So again, we got back like $1,128. This trip was $1,639, so it was almost about 60-70% of the trip. Had we spent $3,000, now you're closer to 30%. And I wanted that commission to cover as much of this trip as possible. Frontier is cheaper, so it covered more, and it was one of the rare non-stop flights to Vegas out of Jacksonville, so that's why we flew Frontier. But I hate the paying for your seats. I mean, I guess everybody's making you pay for bags now, but it just feels like Frontier, nickels and dimes. There's, no reclining like she said. I mean, it just feels much more tight and cramped. So
it was really tight.
Anyway, I mean, if I can help it from here on out, we won't be flying Frontier. Landed. Got to the hotel, Westgate. What do you think about the Westgate, the room?
The Westgate was fine. I loved the restaurants that we had at the Westgate. Every restaurant at the Westgate was very tasty. My favorite restaurant at the Westgate was Riki Tiki. We ate there multiple times. Not to get too personal, but I have a stomach issue, and so I have a hard time digesting a lot of things. And so Riki Tiki was my favorite. I knew I could eat there, and I didn't have any problem having digestive issues. So it was really good. The food was very tasty, and I really liked them because their customer service was top notch. So, but every restaurant there was very tasty. The only thing I didn't like about the Westgate was we were in a non-smoking room, and the room smelled like it was a smoking room, and then the walls were really thin. I could hear everybody walking past the room. I could hear everybody in the room next to us, but the room actually was really nice. It was very thin. Other than that, the Westgate was really nice. I did have a good time there. So that was just my thing about the Westgate. What did you think?
I didn't like the fact that I got there after 3 o'clock and my room was supposed to be ready at 3, and it wasn't. Yeah. And he was like, "Well, we got 2 like double beds or something." I'm like, "No, I specifically selected, king room. Well, you can either take this room now, or it's going to be more time for your other room." And there are higher priced rooms available, which if I wanted to pay, they would put me in. Mm. But I mean, it's one thing if I show up at 11 for a room that's supposed to be ready at 3, and it's not. Okay, yeah, sit down and wait because you're here early, but it was like 3:40, and the room was supposed to be ready. Check-in was supposed to be at 3. So I just felt like for the inconvenience, you should have accommodated me by putting me in a better room.
I don't know. I think for my birthday celebration, I would have. I don't know. I guess I'm not trying to say that, but it just was like, dang, And then I think it was an EDC conference or some type of music festival that was supposed to be going on. So there was a lot more people there than they were expecting. But I felt like for proper customer service, they should have accommodated the people that were there. And we were there late because our flight was delayed, and it really was a bad situation. So they didn't want to accommodate us, and they wanted us to pay more, and our room wasn't ready when we were supposed to be there. So that was a bad situation too.
And the constant bombarding you to do their little timeshare presentation.
Oh my gosh,
that part was brutal. But I guess that's just Vegas, because everywhere we went, even outside the Westgate, we had to deal with that. And one more thing, going back to the restaurants, and I'll insert a small clip to show you the ambiance of the restaurants. But there was a Benihana, there was an Asian bistro, and there was Riki Tiki all together. And I mean, there was like indoor waterfalls, and it was just like a real serene area. And I will insert a video right here where Jay was walking through that area. Really nice. Okay, so let's talk transportation real quick. The Westgate had a station for the monorail right at the entrance of the Westgate. So whenever we were going somewhere on the Westgate route, we just hopped on the monorail. It was $13 a day or $13 for 24 hours. So if you got one like 5 p.m., it was good until 5 p.m. the next day. So most of the time we did that. Whenever we had to go somewhere that wasn't on the monorail's route, we would just Uber or Lyft. What did you think of the monorail?
I actually liked the monorail. It was fun.
It was a good time. I mean, the trains came every, it's like 7 minutes or so. And they went from SLS station to Westgate station to Convention Center to Caesars and Harrah's, and then the Link and Bellagio, and then all the way down to MGM. So, I mean, just about anywhere you wanted to go other than maybe like Mandalay Bay or Rio, you could get there via the monorail. And then it was relatively expensive, $13, and you just go back and forth as much as you wanted for 24 hours. So it was a good time. Shows. Well, first thing, so I think the first day we just kind of bummed it out. I don't really know that we even went anywhere.
We didn't. We just
got in, was trying to get like acclimated to, it's like,
we were very jet lagged.
Yeah, 9 o'clock, and we're tired because our bodies are like midnight. So the first day we just kind of bummed it out. And the second day we got up, hopped on our monorail because we had gotten a ticket the night. Did we get a ticket the night before? We did. Yeah. So we got the ticket the night before, hopped on the monorail, and we went to the Eiffel Tower. What do you think of that? And I'll insert a video here.
The Eiffel Tower experience was really cool. It was really windy. They said it was like a windstorm or something nearby, so it was really windy. And it actually was cold in Vegas when we got there, which I was surprised. I wasn't prepared for that. But it was really neat. They said it was the replica of the Eiffel Tower. And I thought it was really neat.
It was a half-scale replica, so it was exactly one half the size of the one in Paris. But it was real nice, and the guy actually took our phones and took a picture through one of the holes in the floor that went looked straight down. That was pretty cool. And then it was caged in, but they had these holes every so often where you can stick your phone out and get a unobstructed photo of like the Bellagio or just the Strip in general. So that was a good time, and we'll bring the Eiffel Tower back up here in a second. And then later that night, we went on Expedia and picked up some tickets for Michael Jackson 1, which we had seen when we went with Mom in January of last year. But the show was so good.
We had to see it again. I really wanted to see it again. I told myself that if we went back and it was there, that we would do it again. It's actually one of my favorite shows. If you have not seen Michael Jackson 1, some people have their own opinions about it, but I actually think it's really great. I love Cirque du Soleil. And they are very talented, and for them to do a tribute to Michael Jackson is really, really cool. You have to see it. I think one of my favorite things is they have this one guy with one leg that does something. Check him out. He is amazing. There's another guy that comes out in this box, and he has this shiny thing on, and they have some other people that does stuff on this wall. I don't know. Check it out. It's great. Michael Jackson 1. Y'all kill it. If you see this video, y'all are amazing. Amazing stuff.
Okay, so that ended the second night, and again, it was like 9 o'clock and we were tired again. I think at this point our body was just starting to kind of realize, okay, we're on a different time frame. So the next morning we woke up and we
it was my birthday, by the way.
It's her birthday. So we went to the Venetian, which was something else we did last January. and we did the gondola. And we actually explored a lot more of the Venetian this time though, because the last time we went straight to where the gondolas were, rode them, and just kind of left. We explored a lot more of the hotel this time, but we saw our girl from last year, but we ended up going with a different guy. What did you think of the guy we had this time?
The guy we had this time was really cool, but I really did want to see him from last time. The guy this time was really nice. It was really romantic. The couple that we were with was kind of distracting. They didn't really get into it like we did, but the gondola ride was really romantic. I love the fact that under every bridge you have to kiss. But the gondola ride I always think is very romantic and sweet. So I like it.
Yeah, and we could have paid. It was like double though, or something ridiculous to have it to yourself. And I was just like, I was hoping that nobody else would get it. We just ended up getting one by ourselves anyway. But they'll like line you up and wait on somebody else to come if you paid for the 4 occupancy gondola. I was feeling the same way about having the girl from the first time. I'm like a real creature of habit, but the other guy ended up being real good, and it may make me start venturing out a little bit. But it's like when I find something I like, I like what I like. But you will never find if you like something better if you don't start to venture out. So that's kind of what I took from that. That guy was to me equally as good as the female gondolier we had. Okay, so we did that, and then when we were going back to yesterday, when we were at the top of the Eiffel Tower, they also mentioned that there was a restaurant in there. And it's funny because I had posted some pictures that night, and my one of my old instructors said, "Oh, you got to eat at the restaurant. You got to eat at the restaurant." So we were sitting back at the room, called up, made a reservation, and there it was. Went to the restaurant. What did you think of
the restaurant? Was nice. I like that we were able to eat and have dinner in front of the window, in front of the fountains by the Bellagio. And it was really cool. It was really sweet. The dinner was really nice. The food was tasty. I had the salmon and I had a lobster bisque. It was really good. Everything was nice. So
yeah, I had $84 ribeye. So yes, if you go into the Eiffel Tower restaurant, just make sure you brought your good purse with you, because man, it's all a la carte. And like my ribeye was like $84. My mashed potatoes were $9, and $270 later, happy birthday to my baby. Now, the one thing I would say, it would be cool if they did somehow, and I don't know if this would be the Eiffel Tower restaurant or maybe even the Bellagio themselves, but either have like a channel. Most people that's watching the fountains are watching it from right in front of the fountains, and there's speakers where you can hear what music the water is dancing to. But when you're at the top of the Eiffel Tower, when you're in the Eiffel Tower restaurant, when you're in the high roller, when you're on the helicopter, you can't hear the music, but you can still see the fountains. If there was either an app or like a station you could tune to hear what music they were going to, or if the restaurant can maybe have some headphones or maybe like a little speaker on the table that allows you to hear, if you want to turn it up and see what was playing. But it was still cool to see, even without that. And $84 ribeye, I don't know if it tasted good because it was $84 or it was just a good ribeye, but I enjoyed it and there was nothing left on my plate. Okay, so we left there, and did we go immediately to the high roller?
No, we walked around and hung out, and we actually walked down to the Bellagio and went and watched the fountains. Yeah. And we just kind of kicked it.
Was that the day we sat with that dude for a little while, the army, the veteran? No, that was last day. So we walked around and we played Mario Kart. Oh,
and
yeah.
We went bowling.
I'm going to insert a clip.
We went to the arcade.
Small clip.
So we walked around because we went to the high roller right after, but we wanted to wait till it was dark. So we went and basically BS. And so he carried my shoes. He was a gentleman. And let me play around. So he didn't let me win any games, but we went to the arcade and we played some games. It was really fun, and just did some cool Vegas stuff. And then we went to the high roller, which was really fun. So the high roller is this big Ferris wheel, and we went to one of the pods that had a open bar, and it's pretty much like a 30-minute type of ride, which was really cool. So we'll insert a clip on this too. But it was really cool because the people that were in there, we actually had like 4 different people that were celebrating their birthdays too, and we all sung happy birthday to each other, and they encouraged that you drink as much as you could while you were in there, because it's 30 minutes, and so we were all trying to drink as much as we could. But it was really neat because while you're up there, you get these really nice views of the Vegas Strip and things like that while you're in there. So I really enjoyed the high roller, not only because it was my birthday, but it was really beautiful views. What did you think?
I thought it was a great time. I didn't realize that only 5 of the cars were the bar cars. So we were like sitting in line and thinking when the car came, it was ours, and like, no, it's not.
No,
and then another one came, like, no, it's not us. But eventually our car showed up. We piled in, and the girl started making drinks, and it's real slow. I mean, you barely feel you're moving, and then she'll tell you when you're at the highest point, and it's beautiful, especially at night. So if you get the option, I mean, if you drink, definitely go with the bar car, and if you got the option of day or night, definitely go at night, because just with everything being lit up, it is amazing. And there's actually a video already up of the entire experience. So just on our page, go over to the YAD Crew Rides the High Roller or something like that. I named it.
And you can get your tickets online. I highly encourage you to do it online because you save a little bit of money. You know, if you want to save some money, just do it online.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of time because I think the line goes a little faster when it's sort of prepaid. Okay, so that ended day 3. Day 4, we woke up, and I'm a listener of Shaq's podcast, the Big Podcast with Shaq, and he had talked about opening his restaurant. He did an episode where it was like the grand opening. They talked about, you know, his chicken spot out in Vegas, and so I told Jay I can't come out here without going to Shaq's restaurant. So it's not along the monorail route, so we had to get an Uber there. But we ended up getting one, and I had a great time.
I love Big Chicken. I love Big Chicken so much that I bought one of the Big Chicken shirts. Big Chicken was really, really good, and when I tell you Shaquille O'Neal know his chicken, he knows his chicken, and he knows his sauce. Really nice establishment. The staff there was really nice. I'm trying to remember. Meg, I love you. You're awesome. You're the bomb, girl. Meg was awesome. She was behind the bar, and she made these great, wonderful watermelon margaritas. Sorry, that were really, really good. And but Big Chicken is great. Shout out to Shaq and his establishment. Really great. Please go see Big Chicken.
Yeah, we actually ended up going there twice.
Yeah,
but I got the Uncle Jerome the first day, which is like a chicken sandwich. Well, they're all chicken sandwiches. They're a little bit different. Some of them might have like fried onion rings on them or different sauces or something that makes them unique. But the menu was, you know, obviously Shaq inspired. There was, you know, alcohol there, so that full bar you could get, you know, alcoholic beverages if you wanted. And the fries were like thin cut steak fries, and then they had an array of sauces. So that was really cool. And yeah, you probably should have put your Big Chicken.
I should have put my chicken shirt on. You can see it on my Instagram page.
We'll say that for the next video.
Yeah.
Okay, so Big Chicken. That was the first Big Chicken was the same day. I don't think, what did we do during the day that day? Nothing. Probably went back to the pool. Was that the day we sat by the pool?
We did.
We sat by the pool, got in the pool at the hotel. It was a really nice pool. Nice and big. Plenty of deck chairs. The waitress was iffy, spotty. It seemed like they were kind of ignoring us, but
they did.
It could just be a complex that I have where I feel like I'm being.
They didn't talk to us. It was fine.
We did that. Then later that night, yeah, we did the helicopter ride.
We did the helicopter ride, which was scary and funny at the same time. It's only because I don't like to fly. But the experience was great because you wear these headphones and they play this music in your ear, and it just, the ambiance was great.
Picked us up in the
yes, so they picked us up in this limo, and it was fun. We had a good time. So they pick you up, they give you like these lanyards, and you have your name on it. You feel real I don't know, exclusive. It was great.
Yeah, I think it said VIP.
It did. It was great.
Cool.
And then you get in, you cannot take your phone. You can't use your phones on the flat, so you can't take a picture of the helicopter. But once you get inside, you can actually pull your phones out and video the whole experience, which was really cool. Our pilot was really, really funny. He made a lot of jokes during the whole thing. It was windy during our flight, which made it a little scary, but it was really, really fun. Our flight was really, really cool. So I really recommend doing a helicopter ride through Vegas, because especially at night, because if you do it at night, you can see again the strip lit up. You can see everything. And actually, during ours, we saw the Bellagio and the volcano at the same time. Yeah. So it was really, really neat. We went at the best time. So it was really, really cool. So after the helicopter ride.
Real quick. Now, the one thing with the helicopter ride was I felt like our seat was kind of bad. We put one couple on behind him, so they were driver side rear. Then he was, front driver, and then it was another couple front passenger side, and he put us in the rear passenger side. And then so when he goes up, as he's flying down the strip is on his side. So we're having to kind of look over people to be able to see. So I was hoping that he would just go down, turn around, and come back the same way, so now it would be on our side. Well, no, he kind of did more of a U than a pivot. And so now it's the same thing. The strip's on the opposite side now, so we're still having to look over. We never had it to where when we look out our window, we saw, the lights and what we were supposed to be seeing. So I just thought that was, maybe they should, I should have left that on their review card, but they should fly down and just turn around and come back, so at least the people that didn't have a good view going one way could see it coming back. But he did more of like a U, so both times the strip was on our far side, so we were having to look over people. But it was still a fun experience. It's something I do again. I'm just going to request sitting in the front.
So we can see.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if I'm going to insert some of that into this video. It's already getting long. I see we're at 21 minutes already. Or if I'll probably make a separate video for just the flight itself.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get to the crazy part of that evening. So right after the helicopter ride, we went to Fremont Street. And I think this is, to me, where they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, because Fremont Street freaked me out.
And there's a video of, and we didn't take a ton of video, but we took some video and I posted it just to kind of give you an idea, if you've never been down there, what exactly it's like. It's partially covered. There were zip liners going back and forth, but it's basically just a lot of bars, restaurants. There's some stages for concerts, and a lot of street performers, which you'll see if you look at our other Fremont Street Experience video. There was a guy, he just stay still and like pretend to be a statue for tips. There was another guy that he would just lay on the ground and you pay $1 and you pose him, and then he'd just say, his sign said, "Pay, pose me, I'll stay put," or something like that. And then you actually see in our video, a lady goes and like rolls him over on his back and put like one foot up on his knee and does him like a thumbs up, and he just stays there. And there was
some other stuff, but I'm not.
Yeah, there was some guy that like kicked me in the nuts t-shirt.
I saw some body parts I wasn't supposed to see. I saw some actions I wasn't supposed to see.
People looking like extras from The Walking Dead.
It was some Walking Dead action going on. As soon as we got out of the van, it's beautiful. It was going down. And we ended up walking all the way through that and ended up at the downtown container park, which is pretty cool. It's like they made this little section where all of the buildings are like old shipping containers. Now that was neat.
And there was actually a stage there for, I guess they could do concerts there too, or have some type of performance. And I ended up eating a hot dog, chicken strips, something. Yeah, but I ended up eating at a little spot down there, and then we Ubered back. Yeah. And I think that was the last full night in Vegas.
Oh, and then the last day we went to Blacktap.
Yeah, so the next day, our final day in Vegas, now we had like a red-eye flight. So what we did was we woke up, we packed, and we waited till like the last minute to check out. We took our luggage down to the bell desk, and they'll actually hold it for you. Even though you're technically checked out, they will hold it for you until your flight. So we basically had another day in Vegas, even though we didn't have another night. So we went back to Big Chicken again. I told you we did Big Chicken twice. So I had a different sandwich this time. And actually, Meg wasn't there today. We had a different server. Don't remember her name. I do apologize for that. I generally like to get names of people when I interact with them. But went back to Big Chicken, and that young lady, was it her that mentioned Blacktap, or was it Meg that mentioned Blacktap?
No, Meg was
Meg. So the Meg the day before had mentioned Blacktap because we talked about desserts. And so we ended up finding Blacktap. It was in the Venetian after walking a hot lap around the Venetian.
It was the other young lady.
Okay. So we ended up finding Blacktap, and after doing a hot lap around the Venetian, we had to walk a country mile that day. easy. But we found it and we ate and it was good. Now I'll insert pictures of the desserts we had.
Oh my gosh, it was delicious.
In right here. And that was good. What'd you end up getting?
I got something with
like cinnamon toast crunch or something?
Yeah, it was like a cinnamon toast crunch. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it had churros hanging out of it. It had cinnamon toast crunch on the side. It had vanilla ice cream.
I mean, this thing was like a tall glass, but it was just overflowing. And then somehow, I don't know what they used, but mine was an Oreo Supreme or something like that. Yeah. And they had, I mean, the biggest Oreo I've seen was like stuck to no, it was actually inside the ice cream and whipped cream on top. But somehow along the rim of the glass, they had, I don't know what they used, but they had crushed up Oreos like stuck to the outside. It was crazy, but it was a great dessert. And again, Vegas, it's like $15 dessert, but to me, it was worth it. When you're going on vacation, you expect to pay, the vacation tax, so to speak. So, it was what it was. But just be mindful, it's not a $5 Dairy Queen shake. Just heads up. So that was good. And then the rest of the day, that's the day we walked through Caesars pretty good that day. Mm-hmm. Saw all those stores, a little fountain. We didn't see the little fountain show in there, but we saw where it takes place. Was there else anything that's interesting inside Caesars? Mm-mm. We didn't stop in Caesars, did we? Mm-mm. We saw the little theater where they do the Jerry Seinfeld shows and Cher and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And then the last thing, we hung out at the Link, and we had did Wahlburgers last time we was there, so I said I wanted to try In-N-Out this time because I wanted to do it last time but never did. And again, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I used to listen to the Jay Moore podcast, Bill Burr. And, a lot of those Californians all rave about In-N-Out. And I mean, I'm not going to take it for it. It was good, but I don't know if my expectation was too high. It was just, to me, it was a burger. Now, if you want to go taste per value, as inexpensive as it was, it was really good. But, I mean, I was expecting kind of to be blown away. I'm a bit of a burger connoisseur. So, it was just okay to me. I know all the Californians are probably flipping out right now because I just called In-N-Out just okay, but I mean, to me, it was just okay. So. You didn't have In-N-Out. Did you have a piece of the burger?
I did.
What did you think?
Yeah. But I don't eat burgers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't eat burgers, so please don't judge me on that.
Yeah.
I don't eat burgers.
It's all right. And if this video does get any comments, I'd imagine most of
them.
But
I had sprinkles, and I was excited. While he was in In-N-Out, I went to sprinkles, and I screamed in the middle of the whole courtyard, and people thought I was crazy. So thank you, Las Vegas, for having sprinkles. I am so happy, and when I come back, I will get more. Thank you.
All right, so we are rapidly approaching the longest video ever. I think the review of Carnival.
So on that note, thank you guys.
Oh, one more thing, the Delta. Now we flew back Delta. It did have a stop in Atlanta, but it worked out perfect. We landed at like 8:28, and our flight from Atlanta to Jacksonville was like 8:25. So it was supposed to be like a 40-minute deal. It might have been 20 because we were cutting so close. So that worked out well. But Delta's probably going to be our airline of choice because I mean the TVs and the headrests and the blankets when you got on, the reclining seats. The seats just felt like you had a little more room. It probably was 4 inches maybe, but when you're cramped next to somebody for 4 hours, 4 inches makes a world of difference. And we didn't actually pay for seat selection on the Delta plane, so we were actually across the aisle from each other. I was like 19C and she was 19D, so we were kind of across the aisle. So that was different because normally we're side by side. But yeah, definitely gonna fly Delta. Don't really have anything on. Well, we have a cruise December 2020, but I'm sure we're gonna do something between now and then. That's just the next thing I think we're doing big with the kids. We booked that cruise for them because we wanted Julian to be 18 on the next cruise because we had a bunch of rigmarole with Royal Caribbean and 2 minors in a room. So other than that, we'll keep you guys posted when we do something else and look for a review. If you got any Vegas experiences or anything that you think we should do next time we go that you might have done, drop us a comment. If you think I'm crazy for not liking In-N-Out, tell me. Not above any criticism. And any place you like us to go and review, we'll try to take suggestions. Now, we're not rich yet, but we're working on trying to see as much of this world as we can. So hit subscribe if you don't subscribe already. Leave us a comment. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And until next time, we'll see you.
Thank you, guys.